Alex Hales just failed to score his second upbeat century of the last few weeks as his Nottinghamshire side tried to fight back with the bat on the second day of their LV County Championship match with Middlesex at Trent Bridge after Eoin Morgan had been denied his double ton. The visitors had a dream first day with Chris Rogers making 180 and Morgan an unbeaten 174 out of their side's 417 for 5. Paul Sterling started day 2 in a positive fashion. But not for long. In the 8th over of the morning, Peter Siddle claimed his third wicket of the innings by having Sterling well caught behind by a diving Chris Reed. Morgan has never scored a championship double hundred, so for the most part he batted very carefully as he tried to right that wrong. He lost Toby Rowland-Jones at the other end with a score on 466, Hales with the smart catch at mid-wicket off Luke Fletcher as the batsman went for 18. Morgan was dealing with the short ball well and he now advanced into the 190s, taking the total onto a mammoth 481 in the process. But it was a short ball from Fletcher that brought about the Irishman's downfall. A gloved pull was caught by Reed as Morgan finally departed for 191 after spending 6 hours at the crease. Andre Adams then joined in by removing Stephen Finn for a single, before Tim Murtagh brought up the 500 for his side, a total dominated by just 2 innings, those of Morgan's and Rogers. Indeed, the next best score was Sterling's 31, and that would have given the visitors some hope after Ravi Patel pulled Fletcher out to James Taylor. Middlesex's innings was ended on 505, made in 115 overs. Nottinghamshire had half an hour to bat before lunch, but they lost Phil Jakes in the 5th over as he was trapped in front by Murtagh, having made just 1 run in an opening stand of 14 with Hales. The home side went to lunch on 27 for 1, with Hales moving on to 26 of those. His amazing 100 at Hove a couple of weeks ago has lifted his confidence in the 4-day arena, and he reeled off some sumptuous shots as Nottinghamshire made a bright start in their pursuit of the 356 runs they needed to avoid being asked to follow on. Hales was well supported by Michael Lum, the only one of Nottinghamshire's top order to be having a lean spell so far. He's made several starts, and that was the case here, as he and Hales began to settle in to frustrate the Middlesex attack, who would have been hoping for better things, no doubt. Hales reached his 50 in the 22nd over with his 11th boundary coming off his 65th ball, this one being one of his more fortunate ones. He wasn't wasting too much energy by running between the wickets too much, that was for sure. He was looking in splendid touch as he and Lum added 102 runs for the second wicket in 22 overs. Lum made 47 of those but was denied his first 50 of the championship summer when he was beaten for pace by Finn, who would have loved seeing the middle stump doing a cartwheel. Lum keeps getting out in the 40s while Hales, back at the top of the Notts order, is just beginning to find his best form after a long lean spell in the championship. He played some scorching shots off Finn as he dominated a 3rd wicket partnership with Taylor, moving quickly towards his 100 in the process. Taylor missed out on 9, and with the total reading 152, he was bowled by a very good delivery from Neil Dexter, a man who took 5 for 27 on this very ground just last year. Hales had eased his way to 96 off 110 balls, but then he too was out, although when he heard Murtagh celebrate an LBW, the batsman looked around in horror. He left extremely slowly with his side in some trouble now on 164 for 4. More wickets now, and Middlesex, who have a very good recent record against this opposition, would have been just where they wanted to be, but they weren't the first side to find Samit Patel in excellent order. He may have bagged a pair in Leeds last week, but here he was very much back to his best. A wristy whip through the covers took him to the 50 mark for the 7th time this summer. He has been the model of consistency for the most part. His latest half-century had occupied 80 balls, and he too had struck 11 fours within it. There are few better sights when he's batting in this manner. He needed backup from his partner, and Ricky Vessel stuck it out with him for an hour and a half, although he was dropped at mid-wicket off Ravi Patel. The other Patel ended the day on 75, and another 17 runs on day 3 will take him back above Rogers as the division's leading run-getter. In fact, another 52 will see the all-rounder move above both James Vince and Daryl Mitchell as the most successful batsman of the summer to date. Away from that, Nottinghamshire still need a further 98 runs to avoid the follow-on. They'll go again on day 3 on 258 for 4.